I've been using the Android phone Samsung Galaxy S3 4G for almost a week now. Tomorrow is exactly a week. And I gotta tell you, it's really fun. But it was very near that I gave up on it after the first 3 or 4 days because of the really bad Samsung keyboard. I couldn't type on it. It was impossible. It's irritated me, and it was really awkward to type on it. And everyone on Google Plus recommended me to look at SwiftKey, and I said yes later. I want to try the default thing from Samsung first. But after a while, I gave up and installed SwiftKey, and I also installed the Jelly Bean keyboard to try out. And it was astonishing which huge difference it was. An incredible difference from the Samsung keyboard and both SwiftKey and Jelly Bean keyboard. I decided to use SwiftKey, but Jelly Bean keyboard has nicer themes than SwiftKey. But I decided for SwiftKey, and I've been using SwiftKey since then, and I type really, really fast now. I type as fast as I do on my iPhone, really fast. And I can't understand why Samsung has some bad keyboard. Why bother? Why bother with a bad keyboard? I mean, that's a lot of users probably still using that bad keyboard and thinks that this is it. This is how it should be. I don't get it. It's so terrible keyboard. But now with SwiftKey, Android is fun again. Now I can be productive when it comes to typing, and that's great. One more problem solved in my Android journey. And later this weekend, I installed a Nova Launcher. Because the Google Plus users that follows me said that themes or launcher, whatever, made the Samsung Galaxy S3 look as a Nexus phone as much as possible. And I installed Nova Launcher, and I was astonished again. It looks much nicer now, and quite frankly, it feels more snappy with Nova Launcher. I don't get that, because Nova Launcher takes RAM memory, but it makes the phone more snappier. It feels a lot snappier when switching through launch screens and so on. Really great. So the Samsung Galaxy S3 4G starts to look great and feel great. The user experience feels to be really great now. And once again, it's too bad that manufacturers need to put all their junk on the phone and make them worse. Because Samsung and TouchWiz, what make that great? Nothing. Users like me that comes from iPhone, for example, to try out Android, I mean, it scares users away from Android. That is how terrible it is. It scares the user away. But after doing some customizations and fiddling with widgets and settings and so on, now the phone starts to be useful. But why should a normal user have to do that? I don't get it. Please stop doing all these things, manufacturers. They are unnecessary and terrible. But okay, after that, I found out that widgets can be really useful. So I started using widgets now, and it's really productive and creative to have the content directly on the screen without having open an app. For example, calendar widgets. I like that. Really great to have the calendar visible all the time as a widget. And I was a bit worried about not finding a great RSS Reader app as good as Reader is on iOS. But after testing a lot of them, RSS Readers, I found one that is so great that it can replace Reader, and that was Minimal Reader. It was awesome, really great. Looks beautiful, fast, and everything. Have all the features I need and so on. And the best of it has an awesome widget. So now I have the RSS content visible all the time as a widget, and it works great and it looks beautiful. Minimal Reader, I can recommend that. It's the same developer has done the Falcon for Twitter widget. And that also looks really great to have as a widget. Really great. And of course I have Gmail as a widget. Gmail inbox as a widget. Perfect to have that visible all the time. Especially now when I use Calendar and Evernote as a combination for GTD. I get notifications and reminders and so on as email. So it's great to have Gmail as a widget now. So once again, Android is really fun. Really fun. I still haven't found a great way for blogging on Android though. It's very hard because I don't have text expander on Android, and that makes it a lot worse for me to link, for example, in a blog post, because I often do search links from my blog in the blog post, for example, for a specific topic about Apple, let's say. I link that search for Apple topic from my blog, and by doing that I have a text expander snippet on my iPhone that can that I have stored in my clipboard. With one short command, it expands with a search URL and what I have in the clipboard. So for example, if I mark the word Apple and copies it to clipboard, and then I want to link that word, I just click on the link button in Byword and type the short command from Text Expander, and it expands with a long search URL and the word Apple at the end. Simple but very effective, and that I want to do on Android too, and I haven't found a way doing that yet. It's not possible, I think, and that's too bad. And I also use Text Expander for all my footnotes links. So if a user click on a footnote to read more about it, for example, a word like HDMI, if a user want to know about HDMI, they can click on that footnote link, and it scrolls down to that footnote with an explanation text about HDMI. And when the user has read that, they can click on another link there to scroll back up again where they were reading my article. And these footnotes I use all the time when blogging on my iPhone. I use it with doing Markdown in Byword and other Markdown editors on the iPhone. But these Markdown editors on Android doesn't support multi-Markdown and footnotes. So there is no text editor that supports that. And that's too bad. Really bad. And none of them have buttons to make the code easier, for example for linking images, bold, italic and so on. And this makes it very hard to blog on Android. That's too bad. I know about blogger apps like Blogger and so on, but they are terrible compared to Markdown. If you like to type with Markdown as I do, they are terrible. You can't compare the Blogger app with typing in Markdown. It's two different things. So, bye for now.